Welcome back, everyone, to more Betrayal of Krondor. Chapter 8. Golden sweat traced his jowl line. Discomforted in the unrelenting heat, he stripped back his shirt sleeves and with passing humor noted the development of his sunburns. Within a month, he doubted even the closest of his kin would recognize him. His moonlit, pale skin tinged a light almond color, and his brownish hair streaked with golden highlights. All things considered, he felt very differently about himself now. Felt more aware that there were bigger problems in the world than his own. Still, it was difficult not to dwell on his sudden disability. Owen contemplated resuming the meditations that had occupied him for the length of the morning, but decided that in the space of 4 hours he had learned nothing he hadn't already deduced intuitively. For some reason, his magical abilities were useless in this alien environment, and the prospect frightened him nearly beyond reason.
"Another week beneath this strange sun, and I shall seem pale next to you," Gorth shouted as he hiked back up the path, the dark strands of his hair dancing in the hot breeze. "This magician Pug must walk without leaving footprints. I can find no evidence of him. How progress your meditations?" Owen shrugged. "No luck. I've tried everything from lesser path cantrips to greater path incantations. Nothing works. It's almost as if there was no mana here." Arching his brows inquisitively, Gorath motioned for the boy to continue. "Most people misunderstand the way that magic works," Owen explained. "As a magician, I don't have power within me. All I know are a series of words and actions that help me gather the power or mana from the natural world. If, however, there's no mana for me to collect, then all my magical training is futile. I'm powerless." "Would the same be true of Pug?" Owen nodded. "He would be as helpless as I am, worse perhaps if I were accustomed to having this kind of command that he has and suddenly lost it." "He could be in very dire danger," Gorth said, finishing the thought. Leaning over, he fetched Owen's staff from where it lay discarded in the sand. "I think that makes our journey all the more urgent." Alright, we're in a foreign land now with Owen and Gorath, looking for this mysterious magician known as Pug. Now, if you've read any of the novels from Raymond E. Feist, the very first novel, named Magician, tells the story of Pug and his whole advancement as a magic user. He starts out as a 13-year-old boy. I just actually started reading it, and I'm not too far in it, but so far it's a pretty good read. I want to get some more background and lore with this world after playing the game, so it's kind of sparked some extra interest, and I highly recommend the Raymond E. Feist series. It was quite a few books, and that, in fact, he actually there was one written based off of this Krondor game as well, but it's much later. So anyways, Owen and Gorath are going to have, well, Owen is certainly going to have issues casting magic unless we find some mana. Some mana. And of course, Gorath is wielding the best sword in the game, Guardia Revanche, the 9140 sword that fucks shit up. So because magic is limited, I think it's probably best that we don't necessarily try to fight everything on the map as we have been doing. Although it will help with abilities in the long run. By the way, let's do a quick ability check here. Defense melee looking pretty sexy on Gorath, as well as his weapon and armor craft. And of course, we have our boy Owen here with maxed casting and very high defense for a magic user. He's 100% at his barding as well.
We have an odd-looking building here. Owen opened the door. Inside the alien structure, they found a variety of odd-shaped objects, some made of wood, others fashioned from rock or crystal.
I feel strange vibrations in the air here, said Gorath. This place is unlike the others we've seen. Perhaps we should look around.
And here are mana crystals. As Gorath rattled the mana in his cupped hands, violent pulses of blue light flashed between the individual shards and prickled his fingers. Though he had never encountered it in this form, he sensed the crystals were magical, perhaps mana, the very essence of magic. It would still need to be converted into a form they could use. Bet you better make room, my friend. I don't think money is going to matter. There's chapter 8 and then chapter 9, which both are much shorter than the earlier chapters. And we're fucking ridiculously rich. I can't even put shit in the house. So I gotta drop this shit outside. That's fucking annoying. Yeah, I don't think money really fucking matters right now, especially with 6,300 sovereigns. So we're gonna make some room. Things that buff us and help us are gonna be much more important. Thomas. As Katala no doubt summoned you, I imagine you have heard most of the pertinent details leading up to the time of my departure from Academia. I'll give you the details of the circumstances once we meet, but I think it's more pressing that you know certain facts. Do not depend on magic. It does not function here in any way I comprehend, and I've concluded something has become of the mana. Its absence may be in some way related to the second factor I've discovered about this planet. I don't know what extent your inherited senses have already told you this, but there appears to be evidence that this world was visited by your something benefactors. A violent race exists here, greatly similar to the Panthanthians. Similar enough. I think they surely must have been stranded here by Alma-Lodka during the time of the Urathru raids across the cosmos. You surely could judge better than I. Gamina is still missing as yet, and I have made a sweep of the entire island. I'm going to head to the northern tip of the island to a ruin I spotted there earlier. Perhaps I will find answers there. Pug of Stardog. Okay, good. Losing that shit too. Definitely want to keep our ropes. I think everything else. This is also going to be sellable shit, which I'm just going to drop because they are extra spells. Let's make a chapter 8 save. We are inevitably going to have to fight some battles, however. Maybe. There's some bad guys. The advantage was lost. I don't know how bad these bad guys are. I can't... And we can't cast magic, so... They just seem to be big beetles. that probably don't carry a goddamn thing. Most of the animals in this game do not. Alright, well, I'm not really worried about beetles. It's the spirit demon Panthanians, or whatever the fuck. Panthanians? Those guys will fuck you up. And we're a man down. Got a bunch of holes around here. Oh, there we go. I do want to see how we can handle these guys. However, we don't have Owen, so let's see if it's... These are the serpent guys, the Pantheans. We did get surprise. Which does absolutely nothing. Because Owen can't do shit except defend himself right now. He's not a fighter. Not sure if the serpent guys will try to dodge. Or run away, rather, which they do. Which is kind of a good thing, because it might give us an opportunity to heal up between these battles without having to use our potions. There's no way that beetle can hit me after a fucking schwalk like that. If he does, I'll be pissed. We're just gonna have to make sure we keep our super sword super fresh. And as far as you, asshole, keep running. He's not very good at escaping. Alright, these fuckers don't drop anything either. Owen nudged open the strange door. He gritted his teeth, waiting for a surprise attack. When none came, he pushed the door open a little further and walked inside, swinging his dick. He was stunned to find each wall completely covered with indecipherable symbols and markings. His attention was also drawn to a dark-colored box in the far corner of the room. Moving closer to it, he felt a strange tingling in his his fingers, a sensation not unlike the one he felt immediately prior casting a particularly powerful spell. The feeling pulled him in, and without even being aware of the possible dangers involved, he grabbed the box and threw open the lid. Inside, he found a dark crystal staff. Holding the staff in his left hand, he held up his right palm and whispered a simple incantation, and flames leapt from his hand. "I can't explain it," Owen said, "but this staff has rejuvenated my magic. It's like Viagra for a mage. It's as though the staff has been formed of, I don't know, crystallized mana." Alright, so Owen has the staff he needs to now utilize the mana shards. Hopefully we only use one per spell. Touching the man of the crystalline staff, a faint glow suffused the length of the stave. Ah, we charge it up with the crystals! Alright, good place to save.
Yeah, sure. Which way do we go?
Maybe we should fight and try to get our abilities up. So far, they don't seem too difficult. I just don't want to use my magic yet because I'm not sure how this works. Let's find out. That's why I just saved. Let's go ahead and just drop a fucking bomb and see what it does to the staff. Was that 66 or something, I believe? That was stupid of you. These guys are really fucking slow. That's a good thing. Oh, this fucking beetle's still alive. Shit. Hell, could have kept going. Alright, now let's see. This was a test anyways. We might reload. Oh, yeah. That eats up the mana like a motherfucker, so we don't even want to do that. I think we're better off dodging these guys till we get a serious surplus of mana. If we have to fight him, we'll let Gorath do the fucking work. But we might be able to dodge a lot of these guys, seeing that I have a map. And I kind of know where I'm going. We are going to need daylight. So we just went in between two enemies. Okay, and I can probably dodge. It was probably safer to go this way. We're gonna fight some for sure, but Owen struggled to make sense of it all. As the enemy advanced, he fought to control the slow-moving pain that was warming his stomach and numbing his limbs. But with the reactions of an experienced soldier, his fears were pushed from his mind as the enemy swept into the ranks. Well, let's try to not use a lot of magic. I think Skin of the Dragon is going to be huge. I'm gonna tag both these guys with some damage. The beetles are probably... They got more balls than these guys. That beetle got fucked up. He ain't hitting shit. The guy's fucking his own dude up. Let's bring this beetle closer to Gorath. And now what we can do is put another, let's put a simpler dragon skin spell on Gorath, let him get a little heal. Just gonna have to be very cheesematic about this. Defense and melee, we'll take it. If we can dominate the battles as such, it will be to our advantage to get in these battles, but gee, I guess, yeah, I don't even know if we're going to hit a shot before the end of the game, honestly. I did a little bit of looking ahead just to see how close we were, and this map is pretty large, so we probably have a few videos on this. But chapter 9, the things you need to do within this chapter and chapter 9 are not a lot, but I am going to try to mass hoard as many crystals as possible. Nudging open the door, he peered into the building and finally was assured they were alone. Alone with a bone. How you doing on healing there, buddy? Alright, well, we got extra. That's good. We're definitely going to save our healing potions. I can probably do without this sword, to be honest. Let's open up some fucking room. Again, we need to stick to necessities. Owen unfolded the strange note, though most of its illustration was faded. It appeared that they had discovered some sort of map. From what they had seen of the strange island so far, it seemed accurate enough. Examining the map, Owen did his best to approximate their location. This looks about right, he said, indicating an area to Gorath. Right, so this is actually our location on the map. We can see some kind of circle of stones here. This is a big mountainous region that, as far as I know, we can't traverse over, but there may be a way inside. Might need to go ahead and hang on to the map. I don't know that I need this other staff, but I'm afraid to get rid of it. Because what if we go back to a normal world where the crystal staff doesn't work? Okay, and there's not shit in here. Oh, it's just purple crystals everywhere. There looked to be a third home on the map. Which one is it? There it is. What the fuck are you talking about? Then get rid of the stupid spell, motherfucker. Always have room for the crystals, bitch. As we used up some of our crystals casting dragon skin. But it's keeping us alive. I don't think we're going to get to the other crystals without a battle. I just don't want to get ambushed. That's my thing. But I don't see anyone here. Oh, now I do. Oh yeah, there they are. Let's attempt to leave them be. The enemy approached, unsure how best to deal with the situation. Owen shot a glance at Gorath. These creatures resemble the Serpent's Men, Gorath observed coldly. When we had dealings with the Pantheons during Great Horizons, even Delican despised them. If these are any akin, I would have every last one of them dead. So these aren't actually the Pantheons, or whatever the fuck they're called. They have a different name. You may get your wish, Owen replied. They're like the earlier versions of these guys. I can't have Owen getting fucked up, so... Can I kill these guys in 5 rounds? Fuck it. Give me 10. We'll get him to run away. They don't run away too easily, I guess. So we're just going to have to fucking kill them. That will only cost us 2 crystals and blind that sumbitch. He did not like that. Gorath with the long shot. Didn't kill him now, however. That did, motherfucker! Too bad these guys don't have mana crystals. Oh, but they do sometimes carry poison rations. Just as a dick tease. Well, I guess we better search them all just in case they have normal fucking rations. Useless cocksuckers. right, let's continue. Sometimes the shit is hard to find. There's bad guys. We're getting very close to. The enemy approached. Got his eyesight back already. What the fuck? Good thing these slingshots don't do a whole lot of damage. Bro, he has got to be so close to death. I really don't want to waste the gems at this point, so... I'm going to let Gorath try to heal up as much as he can, since he heals 5 hit points per rest. More baddie guys. Oh, something inside the dwelling slithered. I didn't much care for the sound of that, said Owen. Perhaps we should. His sentence hung in the air unfinished as the door slammed open. He suddenly found himself facing off against a snake-like son of a bitch that seemed very intent on fucking him up. Got stuck, bro. Gorath has increased his strength. He's at 51 and fucking shit up. Oh, we don't want stealth now. Well, yes, we do. Yes, we do. We want to get those advantages. Alright, anyone got any goddamn food around here? There we go, there's some good food. That didn't make sense. Give them 3. We both have 14, and we'll stash the rest here in case of emergency. What else do we got? There's more dudes here. Some more mana crystals and another note. There's not enough room, asshole. You keep putting these fucking crystals in my backpack. Fuck off. Thomas. Well, I discovered no evidence of Gamina at the ruin. I have learned the mana on this planet has undergone metamorphic concretion, or in simpler terms, transformed into crystal. As there is no natural phenomenon that can account for this, I can only assume the change was engineered by an agency of the most supreme order. It is doubtful that the Pantanaru could have mastered it, as it would have been cataclysmic offense beyond their control. Though it may have given Kankorin the inspiration for the Lifestone under Sethanon, I can only assume at this point the ancient gods of this planet may have used a tactic to drive away the Ureturu again, as you would know the better than I. I made my discovery when I touched one of the crystal columns in the room and sensed power of it. At the same time, I sensed within what I would tentatively call an intelligence, because I felt the stirrings of mind speech, though no specific thought ever formed. If you go to the ruin, do not touch the central column. I felt greatly ill for several days after touching that particular one, though I am certain of the cause and avoided the rest thereafter. Perhaps after I found Gamina, I would have an opportunity to learn more. Pug of Stardog. Yo, keep my shit charged, motherfucker. Okay, is there only 2 huts here? There only seems to be 2. I'm not sure we're going to be able to sneak around, but we can sure as shit try. Nope! Oh man, that's a good one to sneaky sneak on. Well, it's definitely time to skin a dragon. Owen. And probably throw 5 down on our homie as well. Get up in the mix. Probably better if we do some hacking. Alright, let's fuck this guy up, Owen. Fuck you! One ration. So they carry rations and maybe some alien herb-age. Certainly nothing to write home about. And here are the columns Pug spoke of. I have no idea which one's the middle one. Maybe this one? That looks middle-ish. The pillar was made of crystal in better condition than the others in the circle. Its reflective surface was not as pitted by the blast of sands as others had been. Stroking its surface, Owen marveled at the amount of work it must have taken the craftsman to make. I wonder what this place was originally, Owen asked, not expecting the mental reply which flooded his senses.
You stand in the ruins of Kalzin Mork, once the high temple of 7 gods of Timiriana. Once these columns were only symbols of the gods, crafted by the Savani artisans, who were the servants of Dot Savannah. Now they are vessels within which we have taken refuge.
Refuge? What drives a god into refuge? Owen asked. I wouldn't think it'd be possible.
You are through, the voice said.
Though without a true voice, it was impossible for Owen to tell, but there were shadings within it that seemed a mixture of hate and sorrow.
Those who were known as the Ularu extinguished all life as we knew it here, using this as a battleground where they were warred with all who dared challenge their universal supremacy. Only when the Savan showed us to our struggles would be futile, did we create a plan by which we could drive out the hordes of Parthians and Kada, who Zeka Matai.
What did you do? Owen asked, and what the fuck are you saying? A long silence greeted him before a distant reply came.
Of the 7 who ruled, there are only 6 of us who survived the desolation. 2 have faded so far from the world they can no longer give voice to their thoughts, but instead are little more than sentient voices of nature. Only Dot Savan will remain, waiting for the time of the awakening. He shall call us when he needs to come. We shall not speak again, Savanai.
Cool, well fuck you too. Warmth radiated from the column. At first, Owen assumed that the crystal was radiating heat reflected from the alien sun, but even on the side away from the glare, the pillar seemed equally warm. I may do little for you, a feminine voice asked quietly in his mind. This much and no more. Suddenly, the sensation of heat grew, washed out from the pillar like a warm breeze, shifting the sand beneath their feet and pressing out in the deserts beyond. In a brief second, the wind was gone, leaving the pillar cold and quiet. The party's defenses motherfucking increased. Oh, shit! Hopefully that's permy. It looks permy. Let's take that off for now and just go straight stealth. Straight melee. That will give us much focus on our 2 tasks. If it's not permanent, oh well. We tried. This pillar was smooth to the touch. Towering over Owen, it seemed to be made of an exquisite crystal of some fashion, though it was wholly unlike anything he'd ever seen in Midcamia.
Through it he could see refracted images of the desert beyond, but when he varied the angle at which he held his head, it seemed as though he could see other places which were not on the other side of the column. Instead, it seemed that there were images of oceans, skies, and other colors.
Your observations intrigue me. You are Savane, are you not?
Startled at the presence of the alien sentiments in his mind, Owen shook his head. Unsure whether he should simply think his reply or speak it aloud, he decided that speaking it would be the safest route. I'm not familiar with the term Savane, so I don't know if I am one or not. Who am I communicating with? Nearby, Gora threw Owen a startled glance, apparently alarmed that his friend was speaking to the air. Before Owen could rattle off an explanation, the voice within his mind returned.
I am Sutukami, mother of a thousand mysteries, once goddess of Timiriana. You have summoned me. What do you desire to know?
I'm not sure what you're asking, Owen said. Are you an oracle?
No, the voice replied. I may only tell you that which is already known. Though I dimly perceive things may come to be, I sense you are newly come to this world. Perhaps you would desire to see something of creatures who inhabit the desolation of our world.
Suddenly, Owen's mind reeled with visions of men with scales rather than skin, and large hulking creatures with shiny carapaces, which roam the deserts like giant fucking beetles. Grasping to retain what he had learned about the creatures as the information flooded through his mind like a tide, he at last seized upon an image of a wispy figure.
What are these things I see? Owen asked. They look as if they're made of smoke. They are ancient servants of Raylan Scar, the last priest of the Datsavan before the desolation. Creatures of magic that can only be killed by special spells, which drain directly from the materiality, their strength. Now they still wander the ruins of Datsavan's ancient temple.
For a moment the image wavered, then stabilized once more.
I must rest. I am needed elsewhere.
I kind of figured we had a monster assessment skill going up there, which will put Gorath at 87. I'm all about the permabuffs. Let's save again. At least we click on this evil center pillar. Owen hesitated. Shimmering in the hellish alien heat, it seemed probable the sun warmed the crystal would blister him if he touched it, but he was curious what material a glass-like pillar had been made of. Privately, he wondered if the serpent people they had encountered in the desert plains had been responsible for the enigmatic monoliths, but somehow the idea seemed wrong to him.
No, the pillars of Khazid were not crafted by the Panathinaden.
A voice wizard. That's the old school serpent dudes' names that we've been kicking the living shit out of.
We made ourselves.
Horrified by the sudden uninviting intrusion of an alien presence, even though it's happened 4 times before within his mind, Owen drew back from the column, but the intruder remained.
We 7 were the gods of Timiriana, Savani. I myself was once Dot Savan, Lord of Gates, but once the Uroth wrought the wars of desolation, we narrowly averted the great star death.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Owen replied. I've heard very little bit about the old elven ones called the Valhiru. Oh, that's what they are. But beyond that...
It isn't important, Savani. Shut your mouth. What we were lost and beyond regaining, but there is time yet to save your people from the same fate.
Our world, Owen asked. The Valhiru have been dead of my world for a time beyond reckoning. They can't pose any threat to us. A feeling of disinterest washed through him as the god brushed aside the question.
The one you know as Pug of Stardock will tell you more when the time comes for you and the Wanderer to make your choices. For now, you must bring to the place the cup of Rinskar. Do this and we will free Pug from his captivity.
Suddenly suspicious about the nature of the entity which spoke to him, he worded his reply carefully. If you are a god, why do you need me to fetch the cup for you? And why should I trust a bodiless someone who claims to have imprisoned the one we look for?
You are wise to question, the voice replied. But it is mine alone to know this truth. You may do as I ask and bring me the fucking cup, or you may perish in the desolation of Timiriana. The choice is yours. I warn you, however, it would be an unwise decision to utilize its powers. Pug has already learned that lesson.
I'm going to touch the center one. You know I have to. I'm going to fucking say first, I don't even know if this is the center one. There was something odd about this column. Removing his hand, Owen struggled to find words for what he was feeling. You know how it is when someone's standing behind you and you know that they are standing there even though you haven't heard them come up? Smiling faintly, Gorath shrugged. It is a sensation I have heard of, but I am afraid it's an experience almost unknown with my kin. Reaching up, he tugged one of his ears. There is little that escapes our hearing. Oh. Looking down at the ground, Owen suddenly flushed, realized how little he truly knew about Gorath or his people. One day he would make a point of getting to know him better. Well, I don't know how to explain what I felt in the pillar, except that it felt alive, like there was a presence within it. If only I knew how to reach it. This crystal was cold as balls, unnerved by the unnatural chill of the object in the blistering desert heat. Owen moved away from it, aware that he suddenly felt very ill. That's the one we weren't supposed to touch, guys. No, don't click autosave. Or auto-fucked. Alright, so we can mess with the one in front of us, but not to the left. Tag that one as the evil shiznit. That'll get us back to 14. And we can continue on. Let's get another good save up in here. It's definitely supposed to be some shit over here to grab. There's this fucking hole. Oh yeah! We don't want to miss 20 crystals. Staying alive, baby. And then getting into a fight. Maybe we'll just take a little damage this time. Coming for you, Pug. Fuck him up. Well, not Pug, Owen, I mean. We will get to play as Pug. I did find that out. Booyah! Keep the change, you filthy animal. Alright, good. Now we know we can keep change out of the crystals. That was another curiosity I was having. And now we can start saving up. Crystonies, baby. No, don't cast a spell, you silly bastard. Alright, there's definitely some places we want to avoid here. That's just pure fighting and wasting our beloved crystals.
Unfortunately, I can't pass everything because the way the map I am using is labeled, it doesn't necessarily tell you how to. I mean, it gives you a vague idea of where the monsters are. As you've seen, they kind of spread themselves around, and that makes things more difficult. But this should be a good hole. 40 extra crystals. Brings us to 50. So far, we haven't been ambushed. Huh. We almost got ambushed there. But the enemy was surprised! Nice try, dickhead. Take that. Go ahead and run. There's nothing on your dead fucking corpse anyways. You fucking puss. 400 mana shards. What? Made you look. Owen yelped, rubbing his nose. He stared in confusion at the scene before them. Some invisible force was preventing them from moving forward. Seems we've run into some kind of magical barrier here. Whoever or whatever is inside apparently doesn't want us coming in. How can this be possible if one may not perform magic in this place? You haven't been paying attention to what I said. It's not impossible, just very difficult. Whoever has constructed this magical barrier has access to a huge fucking amount of mana. Perhaps Pug is somehow responsible for this. Actually, this must be where Savan has him imprisoned. Pug must be inside here. The voice you heard within the pillars? Yes, well, at least we'll know where we come and get him once we retrieve the cup that he wants. Let's get back to searching. Okay, so we gotta dodge around this shit. That worked. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck! Drop him. Oh, shit. How dare you? Fuck him up, Owen. You got the power. Alright, folks, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Stay tuned for more Betrayal at Krondor!